If you can hear me, respond, good morning.
Good morning!
All right. Well, we want to welcome everybody to, hi Marion. How are you? We want to welcome everybody down to our neck of the woods, to Little Five Points, for our baby naming this morning for the two little girls. And we have a short program promise. We know there's lots of running around going on. We do want to take you through a short little thing that we have prepared. And to kick things off, I want to pass it to Bob Deutsch, aka the Grand Bob, who is going to give us a little Devar Torah.
Well, I'm very honored to be asked to do this on behalf of all the grandparents, all the Mount Lieutenant, raise your hands. We have four really fabulous Mount Lieutenant. Okay, can everyone in the back hear me now? I was just saying that we have four excellent Mount Lieutenant and also Mount Lieutenant's parents here, and I'm honored to give this. The purpose of this is to bring a little kedusha to this type of event. Closer to the mic? Okay. You can get closer too if you're having difficulty hearing. So the purpose of the Devar Torah is to bring a little kedusha, a sense of holiness, to an occasion like this. And I have to tell you that if I get through this, it's going to be a miracle. Because I'm very emotional, and this is all like stimulus overload. Anyhow, I have to tell you also, since I have the floor, I'm extremely proud of my two offspring, Carol and Ira, and their spouses, and the babies. And they're all going to be great parents. I think these little kids have all hit the jackpot. So, all of us know that we're reading in the book Vayikra, which is also Leviticus, and in this, the part that we're reading is about the animal sacrifices. God tells Moshe, tell the people they have to do all these very complex, specific, particular sacrifices of animals. And I think all of us are probably very happy that we don't do this anymore. That we haven't offered animal sacrifices since the temple was destroyed about 2,000 years ago. But I think we have to wonder, why did God ask the Israelites to do this? This is what this is about. So I think that we have to remember that the Israelites, when they had just left Egypt, according to Rashi, they were spiritual infants and also newborns. And since they had not been to Hebrew school yet, they needed to learn about how to become Jews and about how to relate to God, about how to establish their relationship with God, because they didn't actually know who God was. So God tells them about the animal sacrifices. And the term for sacrifices is korbanot, which actually does not mean sacrifices in the Hebrew. It means drawing nearer. So the idea was that the Hebrew people would draw nearer to God, and also God would draw nearer to them. And another purpose of the korbanot was to establish a powerful emotional communal experience, just like this one, with a lot of noise and a lot of stuff going on. And this was supposed to help bond the Jewish people together. And another purpose was to do something very, very specifically and very intentionally. Just like, we're supposed to do anything that's important. So if you translate that into modern times, we don't do the animal sacrifices anymore, but we do a lot of things that I would regard as a korban, such as, for example, having Shabbat dinner together, where you might even find an animal like a ribeye or brisket, or So you have Shabbat together, and there's a lot of preparation, a lot of intention that goes into it, and a lot of engagement. Everyone's there together, and you have this powerful communal experience once a week. And the same thing with the Seder. And I think that the same thing also goes for an event like this. Here comes the part where I'm going to lose it. But I just want to say that applying the kavanah of the korbanot to this event, I just hope that these two little girls, Natalie and Molly, will draw much closer to God, and that God will also draw much closer to them. So congratulations.
Good morning. Good morning, Natalie. She took a little cat nap. Apparently the streets of New York have trained her well. She didn't sleep. There's a crowd of 150 people, so thank you. I too am going to try to get through this. We wanted to open with a prayer for an adopted child by Rabbi Sandy Eisenberg Sass. We have been blessed with the precious gift of this child. After so much waiting and wishing, we are filled with wonder and gratitude as we call you our daughter. Our daughter, our child, you have grown to life apart from us, but now we hold you close to our hearts and cradle you in our arms with love. We welcome you into the circle of our family and embrace you with the beauty of a rich tradition.
We pledge ourselves to the creation of a Jewish home and to a life of compassion for others, hoping you will grow to cherish and emulate these ideals. God of new beginnings, teach us to be a mother and a father worthy of this sacred trust of life. May our daughter grow in health. May she be strong in mind and kind in heart, a lover of Torah, a seeker of peace. Bless all of us beneath your shelter of shalom, and grant our new family always the harmony and love we feel today. Natalie, we searched all over the U.S. for you. And on October 26th, we received a phone call that changed our lives forever. Less than 1 week later, we were holding you in our arms in Michigan, feeding you your first bottle, and spending our first night together. Our first week as a family was spent in Michigan, and then when we got to our home in Brooklyn, you started to get a sense of how many people were waiting for you, praying for you, and prepared to embrace you, as only our incredible family and friends can.
Natalie B. You're named after three of the most important and special women in our family. We chose the name Natalie because we think it's beautiful. But your middle name carries the strength, poise, and love from two grandmothers, Robin's paternal grandma, Bernice, and my paternal grandmother, Beatrice. Both went by B. You share your Hebrew name, Chava, with my maternal grandmother, Evelyn. And in fact, you also share a Hebrew name with your super cousin, Eve Kogan.
Natalie, my grandma B also lived in Michigan. She was a strong woman who married her sweetheart and a close family friend, my grandpa Alfred Deutsch. They raised 3 boys, my father and uncles Dennis and Morris, and the picture we have here today is from Aunt Nancy and Uncle Morris's wedding. I had a special relationship with my Michigan grandparents. As the oldest grandchild on that side of the family, growing up, the extended Deutsch family spent holidays together, vacationed in Hilton Head, and went on cruises. The bond strengthened during my undergraduate studies when I went to the University of Michigan, so I was close enough to have dinner with them in Detroit. Grandma B always looked stunning and carried herself with such poise. For anyone who knew her, you'd agree she was a woman of strong opinions and who wasn't afraid to share her thoughts. She was also a woman who knew how to entertain, with strong Hungarian roots. She was a fantastic golfer, a card player who loved to complete crossword puzzles, listen to Frank Sinatra, and watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. We're so grateful that Dave had the opportunity to meet Grandma B and that we had a chance to tell her we were engaged before she passed away in 2004. Natalie, we hope that by naming you after 2 Grandma B's, you'll grow up a strong woman, poised and graceful like your great-grandma Bernice.
Natalie, like 2 of your namesakes, you too will have roots in New York City. My grandma, Bee Edwards, was a cherished member of the Edwards and Sobel family. She was the youngest of 3 sisters, a loving and patient wife to Grandpa Max, a caring mother to my dad, Bob, an Aunt Alice, and an adoring grandmother to 4. She was a teacher, a heck of a card player, and a giving friend. Grandma Bee had an infectious laugh, which we've already noticed in you. She took tremendous joy in spending time with her grandkids, playing games, mastering simple but unmistakable meals for the pickiest of eaters, and was the best listener. She had a wonderful, spunky sense of humor and taught the entire Edwards family to sing the song, "Show Me the Way to Go Home," which we now include as part of your nightly routine. Your Hebrew name, Chava, comes from my maternal grandma Evelyn, who passed away just a few years ago. Known as Nanny, Evelyn was the mother of 2 girls, my mom Sue and Aunt Joanne, and grandmother to 4. I grew up just miles away from her house, and she was a regular part of the Edwards life in Saratoga. Evelyn was a gorgeous, incredibly elegant woman who loved her family and friends dearly. She was gifted in the kitchen and maintained a strong sense of her Jewish faith. Evie was also a talented bridge player. She was a shrewd, quick-witted, and strong-willed lady who always let you know where you stood. Living well into her 80s, Evelyn forged relationships with all of her grandchildren's spouses and had a most special time with Robin. She frequently would ask us about our home and about Judaism in our lives. We know that passing a strong faith on to the next generation was important to her, and we can think of no better way to honor her memory and legacy than by giving you her Hebrew name. We know that these 3 strong women are watching over us today, and I'm very proud that you are carrying their names now.
Natalie B., you've been with us for 20 weeks now, and we're at the tail end of a month that's brought you to meet family and friends in Saratoga Springs, Asheville, and Atlanta. We've loved watching your face light up as you've met your family. You've filled our hearts with joy and our home with songs, laughter, and amazing new sounds that you seem to learn every day. These last few weeks, you've mastered the raspberry and high-pitched squeal. We love the routines we've created as a family in Brooklyn, walking through our neighborhood almost every day, playtime in your jungle, bathing you in our spa, which is formerly known as our kitchen, and ending each day with a song and prayers. We love watching you with your Aunt Carrie, Uncle Jason, cousins Jake and Judah, who's just 12 days younger than you. And it's also pretty awesome that you and Molly are the same age.
Already has me wrapped around her finger. You are a fun, funny, interactive, determined, and beautiful baby girl who loves people and to take in the world around you. One of our favorite moments each day is coming to get you when you wake up and seeing your ear-to-ear grin. You have a huge smile and a silly giggle that we just adore. We've been welcoming you to our Jewish community since you were a month old. You've been to Friday night services and Shabbat dinners, and have helped scribe a letter in our synagogue's new Torah. Incidentally, a big. You were a champ at the mikveh earlier this month and charmed everyone at synagogue when we were called to the Torah. Already, you have such a wonderful personality. We love that you love music and enjoy endless verses of Wheels on the Bus and The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Almost every day, your mommy unlocks new ways of making you smile. Watching you kick your little legs and move your arms about and play guitar, there's nothing more special. Anyone who has spent time with you learns that you love nearly everything, other than putting on or taking off sleeves.
You love to try to stand and shift your weight from right to left. Perhaps you're a dancer? Natalie, you can be anything you want to be. We want you to know that we're here to support you in your dreams and to offer you every opportunity we can. You seem at ease when we're with you, and there's just something that feels so right about our little family. Simply put, we're just meant to be together, and you were meant to be our little girl.
Natalie, you may not have our eyes, but we know you'll have our smiles.